All right. Who all we got in here? Just Budget Guy? What's up, Budget Guy? How you doing? Tried to start a few minutes early today because I gotta get ready to book it all the way to Texas tonight. I am leaving tonight to drive 18 hours straight all the way to the heart of Texas to pick up my stepkids. The wife had got a pickup order from the judge to go get them. So they're going to be moving back and living with us as primary custodial parent again. So yay! We're going to be back to being a full blown Brady Bunch. All six kids in the house. Yeah, I know, honey. I know. Only one person in here right now. Yeah, that's because most people know that I start at 3:45. Like Neil just showed up, realized that I'm live a couple minutes early, so they'll everybody will start to trickle in, right? Uh, knowing that. See, yeah, Ginger Fisher's here. See what happens. Love you guys for remembering. Even though I started a couple minutes early, you're like, yeah, he goes live at 3:45, and most times he's a couple minutes late. That's how it goes, right? So let me wait for a few more people. Did y'all check out my latest video on the paddle boards? Mrs. Urban was with me, and we had some fun doing that on a very hot midday when we recorded that video at at a small lake that's close to us. But yeah, it was hot, and I'm telling you, these paddle boards are really interesting. They're a lot of fun, but they're different. They're definitely different. But hey, what y'all carry today? I got to figure out what knives I'm going to take for this trip. Again, it's a really quick, super fast trip out to the heart of Texas to pick up these kids. Just going straight there, picking them up, and going straight back home because the wife works on Monday and the other kids got school on Monday. And my dad, who's about to roll in to the neighborhood here in over the next 10 minutes or so, he should be here. He's crashing at my place to take care to keep after the other three kids. It's out past Weatherford, Texas, Sharp Guy, in a tiny little town called Mineral Wells. It's past Dallas. It's what, probably a good 45 minutes to an 40, 50 to an hour and 10 minutes past Dallas, right, Mrs. Urban? It's a good little ways outside of Dallas Fort Worth area. But yeah, it's a tiny little town. I think they got maybe two or three traffic lights. That's it. Yeah. So yeah, I unfortunately, dude, I have no time to spend out there. It's literally just going to get the children and coming straight back. So I mean, literally, it's going to be like 36 plus hours of time on the road. We are going to sleep at a hotel Saturday night, just to get a good 6.5, 7 hours of sleep in us, uh, to kind of break it up. But tonight, the goal, Mrs. Urban and I's goal, is to trade off and push all the way through the night. If anything, we might have to just stop at a rest stop area and sleep um, in the car for an hour and a half or so, just in order to make it safely. Key is going to be doing it safely. So Yeah, he kind of does, doesn't it? But yeah, Mrs. Urban has college, nursing school Monday morning, and the other kids have school. It'll be a couple of days before we get the kids from Texas all figured out with school and enrolled and everything. That's going to take an extra day or two to make that happen. Waiting for school transcripts to be sent from Texas to Georgia and all that. Yes, thank you, Sharp Guy. We are going to do our best. So y'all, if you say a prayer for Mrs. Urban and I to make this insanely fast trip of over 2,000 miles happen in 3 days. So, yeah. I think I'm going to take this guy. Again, I'm going to be in the car like 90% of the time. So I don't really need a large folder or anything that's got some heft to it. I just need something that, I need to cut a straw short for a drink or open something. Um, that kind of a thing. So I think I'm just going to take this guy. This is the Astronauts Sparrow with the Wharncliffe and S90V and that silver twill carbon fiber. The twill carbon fiber. Have y'all seen the blue ones that they came out with? That bright blue. There's brand new. Still picking up at the job site. Gotcha, man. Gotcha. But yeah, the blue looks so freaking sick on this thing. I love the silver. The silver is sweet, but that blue just freaking pops. And God, I want the blue, but I don't need two of them. I don't really need two of them. I want two of them. The big difference is the blue. I think they've just done the one drop. Astronauts has just done the one drop. So the blue that they dropped just late of late is in 20 CV, whereas this guy's in 90 CV. I think this was like the second or third drop that they did, and they bumped it up to S90. I want the S90 with the blue, so I'm going to keep my eyes peeled because this is such a great knife. I like this better than the Wharncliffe. Is absolutely better than the Wharncliffe Civivi. What's the super popular Civivi? Why am I drawing a blank? Why am I freaking drawing a blank? Elementum. The Elementum. Yeah, I like this. I like this Wharncliffe better than the Wharncliffe in the Civivi Elementum. I like it better than the Wharncliffe for the even for the Ben Peterson Banter, the Wee Banter Wharncliffe. I still like this guy better. Hey Zoe, daughter's home. I guess my dad's not quite. He must have stopped for gas and food, so he might be a couple more minutes. But yeah, so I'm gonna take this guy. It's either this one or this one. Ooh, I might take this one just because it's classy. I love this. And then the micro milling, you can probably barely tell that this has micro milling via the camera. But yeah, I absolutely love this thing. This is an artisan. Forget what the hell the name was on this thing. It's also an S90V, and it's got a wicked freaking blade. I really love this knife. Really, really love this knife. That blade shape is something else too. Love it, love it, love it. So yeah, should I take this or should I take the Spiro? Warning, Spiro. I think I'm gonna take the Spiro. I think I'm gonna not bother with this guy, as beautiful of a knife as it is. Or I could take this guy, the Migron Moyaro, dressed up. Is it in 20 CV or no M390? This guy's in M390. Also got that micro milling on the handle. Contoured scales with micromilling is the way to do titanium. Absolutely. If you're not going to do micromilling, then you got to do something like the diamond pattern that the Kunmu Padre has on it. Luke 10 just got his Padre. Y'all see that? See how Luke 10 got his Padre? He put up a video either yesterday or today. See, we get more people in here. Sweet. I think we're good. Bluminati's here. Marco's here. Is Kathleen's here? Kathleen is here. And, oh, there she is. She said hello. All right. So, like I said, I've been kind of busy in the workshop these last handful of days. I finally finished up the little shelf, the little 3-tiered shelf. I haven't taken a picture of it yet. It literally just got put in the house earlier this morning after letting the clear coat dry overnight. The clear polyurethane. And then I put the second coat on it late last night before going to bed, and so it was until mid-morning until I brought it in the house and set it up. But I made it's a 3 shelf, and it's real thick. The pieces of wood are like 4-inch thick boards that were scrap on the side of the road that was somebody was throwing away, and I cut them up and sanded them and planed them down and filled all the cracks with glue and routed the edges, rounded out the whole things, cut them to the right size, and then did dowel rods as my spacers between each set, and had to drill holes for the dowel rods to get glued into and everything. But I put it at the very end. We have an L-shaped couch in our living room, and at the end of the L that sticks out, I wanted a small shelf there, kind of as like a very skinny end table, because it's only like 5 3/4. It was a 4x6 boards, and so it's only that 5 3/4 wide, and so I've got just that little skinny end table there at the end of the couch that's like sticking like right there in front of the TV. And that's where every kid, they're always fighting over that end seat at of that L part of the couch, because it's the closest seat to the TV. It's as close to the TV as you can pretty much get. If you sit there, your eyeballs are only like maybe 5 to 6 feet away from the TV screen. So all the kids are always fighting for that one. They're always wanting that seat, and so that's funny. But I've got the end table there that I've ordered off of Amazon, one of those little charging stations that gives you 4 USB plugs to it. And I've got an extension cord running underneath the couch to the back wall there in the living room. So that charging station will go at the end of the couch there on that little shelf, on that little end table that I built. And so that way the kids, when they're playing on the game system with their controllers and their controllers die, they can literally plug it into the charging station right there and continue to play and still be sitting there at that end of the couch. It also will be giving them another charging area to plug in their tablets, since I'll have all 6 of them in the house all the time. So they're going to be constantly fighting over charging cords and charging stations throughout the house to charge their tablets. So yeah, so that thing finally got done, the big plan, and so that'll make life a little bit easier for all of us. And the awesome thing is I spent the stain I already had, the router, tools I already had, the wood I got, the main shelf pieces I got for free. So I only had to spend like $6 on 2 dowel rods that I had to cut up. So it cost me very, very little to make this end table. and then it was like $5, 5 or 6, or no, it was $9. That used to be like $5 or 6, but now it's $9 for that charging station off of Amazon. And then I picked up that extension cord uh, that's going underneath the couch. I picked that up at Lowe's. They had them on clearance for like $3. So very, very low budget project that's gonna make things much, much easier. So the other two things that I've been busy in the garage with is I mentioned last Friday that I was making another one of these change chalice things. I love this design with the foot, this short foot, so that when it's on the table or whatever, it's elevated. So when it's sitting down on an end table, it's elevated up a little bit off of the table, so you get to see more of the grain of the wood when it's just sitting there on a table. And it then elevates. It's just nice for your keys, your change. I use one at my desk here. I have this one that I just put USB card readers and drives and stuff in. This one's made out of cedar. I don't know what the hell this wood is. Anybody who knows wood, anybody know wood better than I do? I'm not sure if this is a poplar or a maple, but it's spalted and like look at that grain pattern. It's nuts. I did normally I coat them. I coat my pieces with a with Danish oil. Uh, some people like to do linseed oil. I like Danish oil because Danish oil has just a little bit of polyurethane in it, and the polyurethane just helps fill in your smaller, tiny little cracks and voids and stuff on pieces. But this guy, it's so open. The grain is so open. There's so many cracks and crevices. So I actually used your spar urethane or water-based polyurethane stuff uh, in a semi-gloss and it's got several coats on thin coats on it in order to fill all those gaps. Despite how much sanding I did, yeah, thank you, LCap. Hey, what's up, LCap? How you doing, brother? Yeah, that's what I said. It looks like it's either maple or what was the other, poplar. I think it's maple, but it's a light colored maple, not a dark maple. There's so many different flavors of maple. So I made this, and I'm going to continue to make a couple more of these. The idea is here in my downtown area, which is only like 12 minutes from my house. The first Friday of every month, they do like a little farmers market, crafters market, where where you can set up a booth and sell homemade stuff for homegrown stuff. So it's like, it's everything has to be either homegrown food or homemade arts and crafts type stuff. And so I'm hoping probably not September 1st, not the first Friday of September, but probably the first weekend of October. I will have at least seven or eight pieces, wood turn pieces, and then I've got some other things, wood crafting stuff that I'm gonna make and started making to be able to sell and make some extra spending cash, and or at this point just some cash that I need in order to pay some bills and buy some more food for all these freaking kids. Man, we better qualify for goddamn food stamps. 6 kids is gonna be rough, so rough, because they eat so much because they're all teenagers. I got 5 of them that are between the ages of they'll pretty much be between the ages of 13 and 17. It's so much food. I'm literally feeding an army, a miniature army. But then I had to apologize to B&A, Brand New American. Dude, again, I am sorry, brother. If you don't remember, he won the giveaway last Friday, and I promised him that I was going to send it out Monday or Tuesday. I ended up postponing that because, and LCAP, you're the next dude up for me to send something your way. I ended up making this for B&A. So Brand New American, brother, I am going to get this with the knife and the playing cards in the mail to you at the beginning of next week, Monday or Tuesday. I needed a handful of days. I just dropped it. It's okay. Still fully intact. No dents. But yeah. So I made this little bowl for him. So it's size reference. Let's see here. Put a lighter in it. So that's size difference for you, or so you have an idea how big it is. I did not measure it. Let me measure it with the ruler. The outside diameter is, well, let's do inches, not centimeters or millimeters, whatever. I think it's millimeters they do on the other side. Outside dimensions are 5 1/4, and inner dimensions are 4 1/4. So yeah, and the depth of the bowl ends up being, it's hard for me to do that in front of the camera. The depth of the bowl is pretty much 1.5. Pretty just a hair more than 1.5. But yeah, so this is your dark walnut, and I'm guessing that's pine. It's either pine. It's got to be pine. Yeah, that's got to be pine. But yeah, so and this guy came out really, really freaking nice. That's the bottom of it. That's the inside. And yeah, so this guy, you know, very, even with this pine, this piece of pine, it was a really old chunk that I had. So that's why the grain is actually fairly tight. Like, it's hard to find pine that has that tight a grain pattern on it these days. It's usually more open because they're trying to grow these pine trees as fast as they can to cut them down to use as for lumber. But yeah, it was a really nice piece of pine to help me sandwich it between the two pieces of dark walnut, and it came out really freaking good. So yeah, so it's coated in that Danish wool, 2 coats of the Danish wool, and I'll do my best to remember. It's got to wait another day or two. It'll have to wait till I get back Sunday night. But I'll put my Urban Woodsman 87 and then the date or the month and year that it was made, that I like to do when I make these things for everybody. So yeah, so B&A, that is yours, brother. I really appreciate all the things that you've sent my way, and he and I text back and forth a little bit from time to time as well, talking about motorcycle stuff and other things, and knives and whatever. I think the last time we talked, we were talking a little bit of smacks. Had a little fun smack talking session. about Tri-State. So yeah, we were just he's just talking smack behind his back. Poor little guy. Poor little Tri-State. Cold. But yeah, so it'll be great to send that to you, BNA. I'm happy to do those kinds of things for the people that for each and every one. Obviously, I can't make everybody something for free, but yeah, the ones that really send stuff back and help support this channel big time. But yeah, El Cap, you're next. You're next on my list, brother. Uh, to make something for you. Might not be till November or December until I make it happen, but it'll happen eventually. So that's I really I'll we can go for about another 5 to 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so, but I've got other things I got to do before the wife gets home. In fact, I need to let me message her real quick to call the iPlace. I don't know if she's still in the chat. Hold on a sec. I'm texting the wife real quick. Oh no, you brother are absolutely getting some from me because you send stuff my way and yeah. Yeah, and Mimo is on the list and Bluminati will probably get something someday. Mrs. Urban's already. I've got probably about a dozen or so wood turned things that floating around the house, so she's gotten her fill. Sharp Guy might eventually have to get something, and Neil and Ginger Fisher, like you guys. I know I don't do a members section for my YouTube channel because I don't feel like I'm quite big enough. I don't get more than uh, more than 12 to 20 of people on in my lives, but so like you guys are my members essentially. So I'm all for sending stuff y'all's way because I appreciate uh, your participation and your loyalty for me and the channel here. So another thing that happened this week, yeah, like BNA sent me this awesome buck hat. And it's funny because I remember that I got this from BNA because it buck, big B, and BNA. So yeah, that kind of helps. I'm reading. What are you saying? Here's what you have to look forward to. Urban, my daughter-in-law, is older than me and has birthed 2 grandchildren. Vitro. Okay. Most recent was born August 6th. Wow. Daughter-in-law is older than you? Okay. uh, right on. Yeah, so I had to text Mrs. Urban to ask her to give the eye doctor a call to see if my prescription glasses came in. I was kind of hoping, had my fingers crossed that they'd arrive before I have to do all this driving at night. I mean, I still have my other pair, and I've actually already put them in the car. Still have my other eyeglasses in the car, but it would have been kind of nice to have the newer pair, since more than half of my driving is during the night and during the dark hours. Yeah, about half of it. But I'm bringing my hammock so I can when Mrs. Urban's not gonna, she's going to pick up the kids by herself without me, so that there's not more blood boiling going on with their ex-husband, if because he absolutely hates that I exist. So it's better that Mrs. Urban shows up to collect the kids without my me being present, so that her ex-husband causes a little slightly less drama with the whole ordeal. But yeah. Okay. That's a good age difference. So how is your daughter-in-law older than you? Can't be much older than you. Whatever. That's not my business. I know sometimes age is just, it gets weird and funny within a family dynamics. Fingers crossed that I don't ever have any issues. But yeah, so I'm gonna bring my hammock and chill in Weatherford for a couple hours while the wife goes and gets the kids, and then she'll pick me back up, and we'll head back home from that. Other news that happened this week: my 13-year old daughter, who has not played a full game of softball in her life yet, made their middle school softball team. Her middle school softball team, even though she's never played a game of softball. So, I mean, she's good. I don't know, because I haven't watched kids her age play softball, girls her age play softball. So I don't know how she stacks up, but apparently she stacks up pretty well with her competition, with her peers, because she made the middle school softball team. So, I mean, she is just so freaking stoked with that, and I'm proud of her. I'm really really happy for her. We've been practicing, uh, here and there during the end of the year. Last year was kind of when she was like, I want to try out for the softball team. I want to be on the middle school softball team. We need practice, Dad. You need to give me some time, get my skills up. So we did. So we practiced at the beginning of the end of the spring, beginning of the summer, and then she went to my ex-wife for the second half of the summer, and then she came back, and we literally had school, and they started school like a week and a half after she got back. So we practiced a couple of evenings, and then just this week she had oh, I remember that, Neil. I remember Pee Wee hockey. Young kids playing ice hockey is hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. So much fun. Uh, if we, the nearest ice rink that has ice leagues, has hockey leagues, is down in Jacksonville, and that's like an out where the rink is. It's on about an hour and 10 minutes away from me, so it's a little too far to be making that trip to just watch some youth hockey. But yeah, I remember when growing up as a kid, because I played a little bit of hockey, ice hockey, when I was in the high school. But yeah, kids playing hockey is fun. Now I could not do basketball. I just do not like. I'm not very good at basketball, for one, So that's kind of one reason why I don't care so much for it. But I just don't like watching it either. I'm just not a fan. Watching the sports that I absolutely do not care to watch is basketball, uh, golf, and tennis. Those sports, those main sports, out of your main sports, those three I do not care to watch. Like if it's on TV, I'll be like, please change the channel to something else. I like to watch baseball. I like to watch football. I like to watch hockey. Uh, and that's pretty much about it. I, everything else, I could really care less about. But yeah, so it's great that my daughter made the softball team. She really wanted it, and she's been working hard at it for a very short time. So yeah, very happy for her. That's a good thing that because she wanted that. So that's going to be her thing now is softball. But all right, I've got a few things to do before the wife gets home, and we'll get on our way. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. B&A is still laying tile, but I'll take some pictures of his bowl before I put it in the box to get it mailed. But yeah, so that'll go out to B&A, and hopefully, most likely, probably, I'm pretty sure that next Friday we will do another giveaway, and the giveaway is going to be this Vosteed corgi. So if you're interested in the corgi or know somebody who is interested in the corgi, this is a Blade Show grab. So this is what we're giving away the next Friday that I have a giveaway. Hopefully that's probably most likely next Friday, but again, no promises. I don't know how everything's gonna go. There might be a dentist appointment or doctor appointment for one of the three kids that are coming from Texas that keeps me away from next Friday's live. Hopefully not. So hopefully I will see y'all again next Friday, and we will give away this Vosteed corgi. So that's what's to look forward to, and I will catch y'all later. Peace out. Much loves. Take care. Wish me luck on this lengthy travel, and I'll see y'all later. Bye bye.